This is a quick video on changing out the belt and or belt tensioner. More focused on the belt tensioner. I don't know that mine's bad in particular, but with 104,000 miles on it and I'm ready to change the serpentine belt out, I'm going to go ahead and change the tensioner as well. Just because it was only about another 40 bucks on Rockauto, so why not? I'm already in here. I bought a replacement. I bought a Gates belt and a tensioner. I would highly recommend on these belts that you do not go with the really cheap store brand belts. Gates is good quality, as well as like Continental, for instance. But anyway, this is the tensioner, the new one. And I'm showing you this because it's a lot easier to see here than it is up in the car. This is the piece you have to get a hold of right here to turn this way to release tension on the belt. Okay. This right here is a little pin that came with mine, and what you can do is you can set this in here to hold the tension. The idea is once you get the tension in place, you don't have to keep trying to hold it. You can pop the little pin in and then hold it, and then it'll maintain keep it loose, the belt loose for you while you put the belt on. This right here, which is kind of hard to get to up under here, you have to use a ratchet, whatever you can to get up in here. This right here, and I'll show you where it actually is on the vehicle. Is right here. And this is on the other side where you put your little pin in. You can. Is right here. So when this rotates down, which then you can put that little pin in to hold it. Okay? Here and here. You've got two mounting bolts which correspond to the two mounting bolts that are on the tensioner. So one of them is going to be, get my light on it here, right there. You see that one, and the other one's going to be up in there, right there. So one mount there, the other mount up there. Time to do this. Okay, I was just going to show you that I'm able to get up in there with a regular ratchet that has a swivel handle, and if you push clockwise, it takes a little bit of oomph to do, but see, and then it releases the pressure on the belt, and then you can move that over to get it locked in place. I think I found that a simple 1/4 inch bolt that's 1 1/4 inch long will fit that hole just fine. I can't really show you doing it because I need two hands, but I'm going to put it in there and I'll take another shot when it's in there. And there you goes with the tension off the tensioner. I just rotated it clockwise, and then I put that little 1/4 inch bolt up in there to hold the old one while I take the belt off, and then I'll remove the tensioner. Okay, I thought I should mention before I do this that I went ahead and took out the wheel cowl. I just took it loose and bent it back where it just be out of my way. And that's just a matter of taking out a bunch of those little pins that are annoying. But one little trick I did find here is to take the tensioner out itself, that mounting bolt with the little green whatever on it, this bolt right there. To get that bolt out, you've got to have the tensioner rotated down. In other words, it needs to be like it's tension on the belt, or you can't reach it. Once you rotate the pulley up, then it covers this little belt right here. Right there. They're playing football next door. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that. That's a 12mm deep well. Seems to be working fine on that. And for the actual tensioner, just a regular short 17mm seems to work for that. So I just took the tension off, took the tension off the belt from the tensioner, took the belt off, and then moved it back to that position and then locked it in there. And that way I can get to the bolt up in here to go ahead and get the tensioner off. Because it's there and right up in there. Like I mentioned before. It's this one right here. Right there. Right there. Not this one over here. That's something else right here. Okay, now that I got the other one sitting there, I got the threaded back in my hand. I'm going to take my 13 millimeter. I keep saying 12. It's a 13 millimeter deep well, and I'm just going to work this bolt all the way in, and then I'll get the ratchet on it, get the top one tight, and then I'm going to get the ratchet on it and get the bottom one tight. And this is just a matter of getting up in there and doing it. Okay, so here I got it on. I got it tightened down, and I went ahead and rotated it. Remember when it was new, the pin was in this top hole. Once I got it mounted, I grabbed a hold of the 17 millimeter up here, and I rotated it clockwise. And then the new one comes with a little fancy pin, but I locked it into the new position, so this is loose. So after fishing the belt through the top, and it's just a matter of, which I fish it through the top. Takes a little fiddling with. You got to go sideways, whatever you got to do to get it in. Let me move that. The new one is a little different. I think I'm going to need two hands to do this too. If I can do this with one hand either. Yeah, let me get that on with two hands because that ain't going to work. Okay, so I took it, moved it clockwise again. Took the little pin out that was right up in here, and then just let go of it and release the tension on it. Now it's kind of nice, the Gates one has this sticking further out here. The tensioner sticks a lot further out, so with this I could just get a 17 millimeter wrench on it. So actually that was kind of nice compared to the factory one, which, as you can see, it doesn't stick out as far. The part to grab it on doesn't stick out so far. The new Gates comes way out, just past the wheel. So that's a little bit easier. So if there's a next time that I have to replace the belt, literally all I'm going to have to do is take the wheel cowling on that loose. Just come up here, take the tension off, grab it right here. Like I said, with the factory one was just a ratchet and a regular 17 millimeter. Here with the Gates one, the replacement, just a 17 millimeter wrench. Take the tension off of it, moving it clockwise. Put the little pin in. If you don't have the pin, a 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch long bolt fits perfectly. Stick it in there to hold it. Get your belt back on. Make sure everything's in the pulley grooves where it needs to be, where it should be in the pulley grooves. Make sure it's all there, up top and bottom. And then take the tension bag off, and you're done. And then put the cowl back on. Which you'll probably need a few new clips like me, because every time I take these clips off, these little suckers bust. But anyway, that's all there is to it. I hope this helps somebody. Thanks.